Hello everyone, I'm the Story Man, and today I'm doing the second part of What If Yuji Was Red Hulk, Part 2. So, for a recap, this takes place after when Red Hulk Yuji had a little sparring match with Jugo. After that, Gojo took Yuji to train with Kendo, telling Kendo that Yuji was a special case and that he thinks he'll be able to handle him. And after when they met, they went to the theater incident when Mahito killed all those guys. And during when they were discovering what was happening, Yuji didn't like how Kendo was underestimating him or giving him the vibe that he was superior because he was an adult. But soon after, they left the theaters, and when they did, they shortly after saw cursed spirits. And Kendo told Yuji, handle the one at the other side. I'll handle this one. And Yuji, still feeling underestimated, was telling him, I have a feeling you're still underestimating me. So I'll show you why I'm special. With Yuji then transforming into the Red Hulk. And when Kendo saw this, he was of course surprised. Gojo told him about the form, but he didn't actually describe how it would be like. But even though Kendo was watching, he still didn't let his guard down. And when the cursed spirit that he was facing was about to attack him, he dodged it with his sword. And while the fighting happened, Yuji, with his Hulk powers, was able to easily dominate the cursed spirit he was fighting. He was able to easily kill it with just two strikes of his fists from the left and the right. And Kendo was just dealing with his cursed spirit, with Yuji just watching and telling him sarcastically, do you need help? Because it seems like you need it. With Kendo, of course, saying, just watch him learn, kid. I'll show you what my curse technique is. And then, shortly after, when showing it to Yuji and killing the cursed spirit, Kendo realizes that the cursed spirit had a watch on his arms. And just when Yuji was about to kill it in his normal form, Kendo stopped him, telling him about the watch. And shortly after, they realized that these were humans, not cursed spirits, due to the fact that Kendo's phone was able to take a picture of it. And shortly after that, Kendo had Yuji and this guy, Ichichi, have an assigned mission, which is more tactical, because they had to watch the suspicious man, which is Junpei, telling them that they should watch him. And when Yuji and Ichichi went, they we're watching him in the car, and this basically goes exactly how it would go in the story with them, with Yuji getting the fat guy that was borrowing Junpei out of the way, and they were able to finally talk, or at least how Yuji wanted it. They went where, oh sorry for how the photo looks, but they were able to talk for a while, with Yuji bluntly saying, "I know you were there at the movie theaters. Did you see anything suspicious?" With Junpei saying, "Not at all." And after, with that conversation, Junpei's mom came out, calling them over and inviting Yuji to their house. And they ate. They had a good time. That was until one of the cursed spirits went and killed Junpei's mom because of the Sukuna finger that was there. And after this, Junpei wore his mom's jacket and was going to kill students in the high school that he went, I believe. And during when he was trying to kill the kids in the high school, at the same time, Mahito made a barrier just to make sure that that it was secure. And when this happened, Junpei, without a doubt, killed all the kids that were inside the campus. And then Yuji, when showed up, asked him, "What is he doing? What are you doing?" And then Junpei telling Yuji to do not interfere, you sorcerer. And then after this encounter, Yuji was fighting Junpei, but of course he wasn't going all out because he wanted to be friends with him. And this basically went exactly how in canon when Yuji was finally able to have Junpei stop. However, Mahito came out trying to alter Junpei. But this time when Mahito tries to put Yuji on the wall, Yuji with his Hulk powers this time was able to easily get the hand off of him. It was able to have Junpei in a safe place. And so this time, Junpei does not die. And while he was able to get him out of the way, Yuji went back quickly to where Mahito was at. And that's when they started to fight. And Mahito knows that Yuji is a special human, not just because he knows he's Sukuna vessel, but due to the fact that he has special powers. And Yuji, knowing that if he wants to win this, he has to transform into the Red Hulk without a doubt. And that's what Yuji did, and they started fighting. Mahito, using his extended arms to try and attack Yuji, knowing that long range attacks is more safe and strategic than it would be with in close quarter combat. But even then, Red Hulk Yuji was able to casually get his arms off of him like it was almost nothing. Even though he got cut, he knows he'll be fine due to his regeneration. And Yuji was eventually able to close the gap and then send Mahito flying with a strong right hook out of the school. And then Mahito, like in canon, but instead would be in the air this time, who shoot an arm out to Yuji. Yuji would grab the arm, but like in canon, Mahito would put spikes on it, which easily pierce Yuji's hand. But Yuji, and this time, has more control over his feelings because he needs to control his new powers. And also, he doesn't feel that much pain due to his regeneration. He only feels pain in like a few seconds, and that's it. So he was able to shake it off way easier than in canon, and then just casually slam Mahito onto the ground, with Yuji jumping to where he's at. And that's when Kendo came with Yuji at his side. And this time, it was a slaughterhouse. They were Yuji in this version was more than enough to like hold him off. Like it would be a stalemate. I don't want to make Yuji this strong, just for like to make it interesting. But with Kendo there'd be more than enough to be overwhelming him. But unfortunately, just like in canon, he was able to escape. But Yuji won't be really desperate to go after him, because Junpei, like I said before, survived this time. And so Yuji was more settled with how the outcome was played out. But after this event, it was the festival for sorcerers. And just like in canon, Gojo would be late to go there, but not because he has to carry Yuji, just because he was simply just lazy this time. And Gojo finally came running with Yuji at his side, instead of being in the box. And then he was able to briefly chat up with Megumi and Nobara. And he was able to meet up with the other sorcerers. And so, just like in canon, the festival starts. And Todo started fighting Yuji. And Yuji wouldn't transform. And so this fight will go almost like in canon, except this time Yuji would be more experienced. And base would be slightly more powerful. And so he was able to fight Todo better. And also, like in canon, the other sorcerers that were with Todo tried to jump Yuji, but he was able to casually dodge all their attacks. And just when the sorcerer with the bow shot an arrow at Yuji, that's when Yuji finally transforms into the Red Hawk and uses a thunderclap to bounce the arrow off. And this also made the others fly a little back, except the one with the bow. That made him fly. He flew way far. And Todo and the others would be in awe with Yuji's transformation and his power. Right? But Toto still, like in canon, wanted to face Yuji alone, and so that's what he got. But the others were more relentless about him facing off Yuji this time. But during the fight, Toto knew from the start that in just a straight brawl that he knew he was outclassed. But he still wanted to fight Yuji anyways. And then asked the same question, just like in the original story. What's your type of girl? With Yuji saying, a girl with a nice ass. Just like Jennifer, I think the girl was. And that's when they became friends. And basically everything else would play like in canon. And this time, when Hanami came out, just when Hanami was about to finish both Megumi and Maki off, Yuji was there to save them. And when Yuji told Megumi that it's okay, that he was gonna be alright, he left along with Maki. And both Yuji and Toto were both left alone to face Hanami. And like in canon, Toto wanted to see how Yuji was gonna handle Hanami, and it was telling him about the Black Flash. This time, when Yuji used the Black Flash, he was able to successfully use it the first time. As like I said before, he had more control over his feelings due to the fact that he has new powers now that are directly tied to them. And with Red Hook's powers along, plus with Black Flash, that easily had Hanami in a row of pain. With Yuji using a Black Flash with his right hand, punching Hanami on the left shoulder, feeling so much pain there. Hanami couldn't help but put its hand on that shoulder and fall into the ground in pain, with Toto being way more shocked. And unlike canon, Yuji will dominate Hanami. And with the Black Flash, Hanami this time really couldn't do anything. But Yuji finally putting an end to it with all his might, with a Black Flash flame style, putting it into Hanami there early. And that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. As this is still my first time, I would like to ask you your opinions in the comments, what I could do better. As I said before, thank you for watching. Have a good day.